My name is Henry Xiong from Toronto. I'm a registered TCMP. Today have the honor to host Mr. John Busswood. I call him the giant in the industry, and very happy to be able to host it and then have the program with John today. And hopefully you get a good session today. So anyway, I have been with the company for about 3.5 years now. It has been a pleasant journey, especially product-wise. I have the honor of being able to help a lot of people by sharing the testimonials, and particularly with Mr. John. When he came to Toronto, we had more than 2 hours together sharing the information on the product. It's really a productive session, and we are able to attract people like John into our company. This is the power of the product and the power of the company. Thank you for joining us. And John, it's all yours. I would like you to give us an introductory note about your background, and eventually I'll ask you questions regarding how you got into our company and all of that. So it's all yours now. Just start by telling us some information about your background, and we'll start from there. Thank you, John.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Henry. I still remember very fondly my first trip when before we ever joined. I came out to Toronto for 4 or 5 days to check out the company and find out if this was actually going to be our forever home. And I remember you picking me up at head office and taking me over to your office and spending a couple of hours with you. And quite frankly, I could have spent a couple of days with you. The time flew by, and I was just so excited about what I was hearing from you and what I was learning from you. So thank you so much. You were a big part of the decision making for sure, and I'll never forget that. Anybody who knows me well knows that I don't function well very well in the morning, early at 7 o'clock in the morning here. I've been up since 6 o'clock just to wake up. So I hope I can deliver.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Yeah.
So that's why I got into network marketing, right? So I can have my own hours. But this I do for you. Just to give you a little bit of background on myself, I was born in a little town, the most westerly community in Canada, a little town called Tofino. And when I was born there, there was no highway. It used to take 2 days to go from Tofino to Vancouver. It required taking a car, then taking a boat, then taking a bus, then taking a ferry, then taking another bus. And that would take 2 days because you'd have to stay in a hotel in Port Alberni on Vancouver Island. And my dad was very instrumental in actually pushing through a highway. This was around the early 1960s. And so anyway, and my mother and my father were pillars of the community there. My mother was the first female hospital administrator in in Western Canada. And my dad ran a shipyard. And that was always a lot of fun to hang around there as a kid. But we didn't have a high school. So my parents sent my sisters to private school in Victoria, and they sent me to private school in Vancouver, and I never left. I came here in Vancouver when I was 12 years old as a boarder at Vancouver College, which is a private school. And I ended up graduating from another school, Winston Churchill, where most of my friends to this day are still from that high school, and some of my very, very best friends in the world are from that experience. I went through University of British Columbia, and I managed to get my BA in psychology. I had a secondary in economics, and got into real estate. But real estate was very good to me As a matter of fact, there's another gentleman probably on the call tonight, Larry Hackman. I think most of you probably know the name of Larry Hackman. Many of you have met him at the events and at the meetings on Wednesdays. Larry and I started in the same real estate office on the same day, along with another very good friend of mine. And so we sold real estate together for a number of years. But then something happened where interest rates shot up to 23%. And you couldn't sell houses to anybody at those interest rates. So I went into the Vancouver Fire Department. I saw the fire department as a great opportunity to do something physical, but also, provided me with an income. I continued with real estate. I had an agent's license. I opened up my own office. Actually, had two real estate offices, and ended up selling them out to my partner. And I got invited by a very good friend of mine who, this was just very unusual. If you knew my buddy Ed, you would understand what I'm saying here. But he kept calling me and asking me to come check out this company. And very secretive about it. Wouldn't tell me anything about it. He wouldn't tell me about it being an opportunity. He wouldn't tell me about it being network marketing. I didn't even know what network marketing was at the time. I was by now in my early 30s. And so I just, he wouldn't go away. He was persistent. And again, this wasn't like it, invite me to see something and I kind of give him the no, and then invite me again and no, and then again and again. And finally I just went like, well, he's probably not going to go away until I actually go and take a look at what he wants me to see. And that was my first invitation to a network marketing company. It was a Canadian company, didn't last very long. Yeah. But when I went to the presentation, Henry, it was, I saw the time leverage. I understood right away. I saw the money that could be made. And, up until this point in my life, all of the money that I had ever made was literally from my own, blood, sweat, and tears. And when I saw the concept of network marketing, where you could actually build a team, build a group, help other people become successful, and by helping other people become successful, you could become successful and more successful yourself by helping other people, as opposed to the sort of traditional method where you step on top of people to get to the top, because there's only one position above for everybody, and so there's 10 people trying to get that same position, and you've got to beat everybody else out to get there. So, it was quite an eye-opener for me. As a matter of fact, Sherrie and I, we joined that company right away. Now, I have to tell you guys, we're looking at the price of being in LA here, a lifestyle advisor, I should say, for people that maybe aren't in the business on the call here. To be a lifestyle advisor, which is the highest position you can buy into in this company, is $1,300, a little bit of tax or whatever on top. $1,300 Canadian. When I joined that company, it was $6,400. Wow. And now that's $1988. That's $1988, Henry. You can tell me that's a million.
Yeah, 20,000, 30,000 Canadian dollars.
That's $1 million. That's $1 million now. Okay, so so it cost me $6,400, but nobody would ever spend the $6,400 unless they spent another $450 to get trained. And it was a 3-day training that changed my life. Now it was worth. I would have paid $6,400 for the training. But so I became a trainer in that company. My wife and I, we made over $40,000, again, $1988, made over $40,000 in our first 8 weeks.
That's a couple of houses. That's a couple of houses.
That's a couple of houses.
Yeah, with that money.
At least a condo.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so we did extremely well very, very quickly with that. And the company, they saw my wife and myself both being kind of blondish. They said, why don't you guys look like you're California people. Why don't you go to California and start California? So I actually quit the fire department, which was a dumb thing to do. I quit the fire department, and Sherrie and I were going to go to California, and then everything changed. We could see the company was not doing well. And so we decided to hold off. And also my wife got pregnant with our first baby. So that kind of changed everything for us. But, you know, once bit by the network marketing bug, it's very difficult to quit. Even though the company quit us, I decided, you know, I love this industry. I love the concept of this industry. But in order for me to make a better choice, I needed to become a student of the industry and understand what was a good opportunity and what was not. And so I started studying companies like New Skin and all these other companies, Herbalife and so forth out there. They didn't really do much for me because they were already established companies. I wanted something that was a little more at the beginning. So I ended up going to a company with a bunch of friends of mine that was known at that time as Enrich International. Many of you might know that company today as Unicity. Unicity is a fairly large company. We took Enrich International from a company that was a little lazy company, mostly a herbal-based company. We brought in a weight loss product and we took it to about $600–700 million very quickly.
Wow.
We all made millions of dollars. It was a tremendous company. I know Larry Hackman was in that company as well. Perhaps there's other people on the call that were involved with Unicity or formerly Enrich. Henry, it was a great experience, but the unforeseen happened. The owner sold the company.
Wow.
And that changed everything. Changed our compensation plan. They tried to merge two companies together. It became a horrible experience after, you know, many years of great success. We watched the company implode. And, you know, I kind of semi-retired, you know, things were going well, you know, kind of semi-retired. And then, you know, but again, you know, going further into it, you know, you got to look around. You kind of want to get back and do something. There's only so much golf you can play and things like that. And so we found another company, my last company that was very good to me too, made millions there and did very, very well, built an international business. Many people from Thailand came from that company to Opulence because they trusted what we'd found here and they were as impressed as I was. So that's what brought me to Opulence is you know, the strength of the company. Obviously, people like, you know, Ramin and Sanaz, world-class leaders. I mean, you just do not find people like Ramin and Sanaz and Daniela and all of the corporate team. You know, Rico over in Philippines, and you know, Amarjeet running not only her business, but, you know, Singapore and so forth, right? So we just have a very special company, but I'll shut up for a second in case there's something you want to ask.
Yes. I know because you are so successful and you are so being so respected and followed. What particularly made it make up your mind to choose a company among thousands of companies around the world? Especially, I look at our company as a Canadian company, as opposed to most of the companies are from the US, for example, or from other parts of the world. What do you think of this Canadian company? Why you would choose this Canadian company? Can you elaborate a little more on that for us?
Well, you know, that's really interesting. You know, you know, first of all, it started with the product, you know, trying the Fountain of Life, and then, you know, having to educate myself on the product. You know, as Sherrie and I were taking the product and feeling the product, I started seeing things happening for me personally, sleeping better, sleeping through the night, not having to get up, go to the washroom as often. And like I wear a Fitbit. This is actually my newest addition from our Opulence family. One of my new watches. I've got another one arriving tomorrow.
Wow.
But you know, normally I always wear my Fitbit, or I have it stuck in my pocket to count my steps.
Wow.
But I always sleep with my Fitbit, and so I could show you my sleep pattern before I started taking Fountain of Life and how much sleep I'm getting now, which is a lot more. So things like that really made an impression on me, and there's other things that have happened as well. I had a not often, but I had a bit of a reoccurring gout problem in my big toe of my right foot. And if anybody's had gout, you know how painful it can be, and makes it very difficult to walk sometimes. So since I started taking Fountain of Life for over a year now, I've not had one incident of gout. So it's been just even that alone is a tremendous benefit. But when I saw that it was a Canadian company, that jazzed me up. That made me kind of excited for a couple of different reasons. I was getting a little tired of some of the things that I'd seen with some of the American companies. And no disrespect to anybody from the United States. I've got lots of family in the United States. I was almost had my permanent green card for the U.S., which I eventually abandoned because of the economy and so forth. So lots of praise for Americans and for American companies. But when I saw a Canadian company, I immediately saw some advantages, and I saw some advantages for people I knew that I wanted to bring into the business from the United States as well, because everything that the company charges is in Canadian dollars, which right now is almost a 40% benefit to an American. Somebody coming into the business, as I mentioned earlier, it's $1,300 Canadian plus a little bit of tax or whatever on top. But for an American, it's closer to $900 now, with the difference between the Canadian and the American dollar.
Yeah.
So if I can buy the product, let's just say I can buy the product for $50 right now. The Fountain of Life for an American, take off, 36 to 40%. I mean, my gosh, what a benefit for them.
Yeah.
It's huge, right? It's huge, Henry. So and even for Canadians, I've got to say, in all my experiences of being with American companies, I never felt like I could retail product, because the product was already expensive in American dollars. Then there was shipping, then there was taxes, then there was exchange. And
Right.
so a $60 or $65 product, all of a sudden, by the time it lands on my doorstep, it's costing me
more than 100.
More than 100 in some cases, Henry. You're absolutely right. So how do I make a retail profit on a product that's already costing me $100? The truth is, I didn't make a profit. The truth is, in most cases, I sold the product at a loss just to, share the product with potential prospects. But also, I didn't want a garage full of product. So I wanted to keep the product moving. And so I would, in many cases, just take a loss. So to see a well-priced product like Fountain of Life, again, I see Larry Hackman's name up here on the screen, and people like Alan Ogden, I know, are doing the same thing, and so many. I think everybody's doing this in this county. We're all selling Fountain of Life at a profit. People are easily getting $75, $85, up to $90 or more for a bottle of Fountain of Life, and people are not even hesitating to buy the product at that cost, because it's still a very cost-effective product when you consider if somebody was taking 10 drops 3 times a day, that's 30 drops a day, that's 900 drops a month. Your bottle's going to last you well over a month and a half. So I mean, I take a lot more than that. Yeah, those are the main things I can think of right now. Why I was jazzed up about it being a Canadian company.
Thank you for explaining that. I think you said exactly what I felt too. I don't care whether it's a Canadian or US, as long as the product works and it costs less. And for us, we have a company, we have a brand, we have a clinic, we have customers. We really need the profit margin for the company to survive, for the business to go. So like for you might be just cutting a loss by selling a few bottles on your hand. But for us, if we sell more than a couple, if we sell 100, we lose more. Right? So that way, it doesn't make sense for us professionals to be involved in a company where there is no profit margin. And that really makes sense to a lot of the professionals. That's why we had a whole team of professionals joining us from other TCMPs, other natural path practitioners, other RMT physiotherapists, or even health food stores. They join us because they have that profit margin to make that particular profit for them to not have to build a network around the world. They can just simply make profit by the product selling wholesale retail, simply by staying at home and make a profit out of it. And then automatically there would be people joining them as a business partner if they like the product. So it's just a matter of fact that people would be joining us without having to convince them, because when they use the product, they join us. And that has been happening all around us with that. I know you also talked about other elements like the company, the leadership and all that really made you to make up your mind about the company. Because we do need to look at how the CEO is his mental setup, like how I like the fact that he's only like 50, just over 50, maybe 51 or something. He has another 30 years of good health to especially when he is a wrestler, he's like a champion. Health-wise, he's good, and that's also I like the fact that his son is his next. He wants to build it for his son actually. So when his son is 20, 25, 30, his son would be the one that would be carrying over the business to the future. So we are in very solid ground on the leadership and the CEO side. So that's also what I like as well. Yeah, I noticed that as a big giant, as a leader, you always come to the conventions. Every convention I can see you, and with your wife especially together. You fly down all the way from Vancouver. While some of us in Toronto, we are talking about, oh, it's expensive to spend $200 on a convention, but you fly down, spend a couple $1,000 on that. On the training as big as leader as you. Can you tell us a little more about how you feel it's important to be able to show up at a convention, at meetings, and to lead your team? Can you explain that for us?
I think you have to lead by example, and 99% of it is showing up. It's very true. In fact, Henry, this last trip out to the boot camp for 2 days, I think it was about $4,500 that it cost Sherrie and I. It was almost $1,000 each for airfare from Vancouver to Toronto. I think, and I mean, we could have gone at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. We could have gone on a red eye, or we could have done, we could have probably got that flight much cheaper, but that's not the way we travel anymore. So, it was $1,000 each to get there. And then, you've got a hotel, you've got the cost of joining the boot camp and everything else. And to me, it's a bargain. You're kidding, $4,500 to see what we saw, to that's people need to go to these just to fill themselves up, especially out here in Vancouver. we're not, the opportunity is that we're not surrounded by a million people who are already in opulence. But also, you have to take advantage of these things like that head office does, and they do such an amazing job to show up. Because the money that you spend going there, and like I say, you can go a lot cheaper than what we did. The money you spend going there is returned back to you over and over and over again. It's a very small commitment financially on our part for the greater picture that this company presents to us. This is, as I've said many times, this is our forever home. I've only been in a few companies. I've been the top Canadian income earner in every single company, which is going to be very difficult to do in this company. But I'd settle for, the top 10, top 5 in this company for Canada. That would be okay too. Yeah, it's a very small investment to make, considering what this company is going to do in the next few years. This company with products coming out like Phytoclinical, I don't know if that's going to be the name, with other products like our complete collagen, if that's going to be in our collagen product. This is this is not a billion-dollar company in the making. This is a multi-billion-dollar company in the making. And I say that because not just because of, we're adding a couple of premium products to our line. I'm saying that because of my belief in Ramin, my belief in Synapse, how they protect us and protect the company. It's amazing what they do for us, and that they work as hard as they work. I've been with companies where you couldn't find the executives at home office because they were always on the golf course, or they were out watching a soccer match in the afternoon, or they were off doing something. You couldn't get a hold of them when sometimes it was really important, here, the communication from upline, from corporate, from sideline, is the best I've ever seen. The My Five that we create, the My Five teams, so that every partner has support, and it's not just relying on the sponsor themselves. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, we're working on a multi-billion-dollar company. So attend every event you can possibly attend, and I know some people have to do it virtually. And I've sat down in Vancouver and watched, from 7 o'clock in the morning my time till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've sat there and just watched, because I couldn't make it for whatever. But I always do try and make it, Henry.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's amazing how we are able to mingle with the CEO. We are able to sit down and talk and chat and everything. Whenever we go to a cruise or everywhere, he's always among us. He's always in company, and we are always together. That's how a lot of people feel, especially Amajit. I remember she's saying, you feel like a family. You feel like you belong. You feel like we have a parent, and then we have a family. This is how we feel in this company, and it has been very rewarding for myself. Same thing. I have been leveraging the meetings, the events. I remember the first time I joined the company, I only had myself. I went to the convention. I don't have anybody, but I brought myself to the convention. And then the second time when we have a little more major convention, I think I had about 10-15 people. And then the last time we had the big convention, we had over 30 people. So this is how we grow our business. So it's just never too big to emphasize the importance of bring your people to the convention and grow your business, you have to show up first, and then you bring your people. That's how we grow our business. I like that.
Well, Henry, I should mention too, even, the financial commitment and the time commitment that we made to come to the boot camp. I mean, there's people that I know who spent more money and made a bigger time commitment than we did. People that came from Africa and other, places. Amarjeet and her husband coming from Singapore. I know, Helen and Patrick Chong came all the way from Singapore, and they I know that was a big time commitment. They worked it into a holiday. They actually did an Alaskan cruise. They had great experience. They spent some time in Toronto as well. They spent some time in Vancouver when we got together here in Vancouver as well. And I've known Patrick and Helen now for about 25 years in the network marketing industry. They've been king and queen of a number of companies. They haven't even started yet. I mean, you wait till they see what these two do in Singapore along with Amarjeet. It's absolutely amazing. And these, so there are people that made a much larger time and monetary commitment than Sherrie and I made. So just kudos to anybody who really put themselves out there to be in Toronto, because that was a tremendous event.
Right. Thank you for explaining that. I really encourage people who are, particularly they are in GTA in Canada, they could make a much easier effort to come to the convention and build a business. And this has been proven to be true for people like Ifra, like people from different parts of the world. They come and always come to support the team. That's great. Can you tell us a little more about which part of the compensation plan that made you feel that this is a great compensation system?
Well, let me just expand on that a little bit. I always say, that there's, 5 things that somebody should be looking at when they're looking at a network marketing company. Everybody's got their own little list that they criteria, I guess you might say, that a company needs to meet before they're actually going to, come in and make a commitment for hopefully a lifetime commitment. And so, we've already talked about, the corporate team, which is beyond reproach. I mean, it's just the best I've seen. And when I say that, I mean, I even say that comparing Opulence to companies like I mentioned, Enrich International, which we took to $600-700 million. In my estimation, the corporate team here is better. They're more committed. They're smarter. And they, just look at the promotions that we just heard about yesterday morning. Oh my gosh, November to remember. Are you kidding me? It's a lifetime to remember. But just rock solid people in this company and the commitment. So the corporate team is number one. The products, we already talked a little bit about the products and where we're headed with the products. So I saw that of course we talked about the ability to retail, which puts right now money into people's pockets. The compensation plan, for me, compensation plan just needs to be fair. It needs to be fair and it needs to be achievable. And so, on these counts, Opulence really knocks it out of the park. To have the ability to come into a leadership position like lifestyle advisor for $1,300 and get the maximum discount, tremendous. One of the great things I saw was the the ability to be able to do your monthly maintenance, so you're qualified every month, do your 150 Canadian, and after 3 months, the incentive is you're getting another 10% off, so a total of about 37% off of the retail of the product. And so, one of the greatest challenges for network marketing companies in any company I've ever heard of is keeping people on auto ship. You can't find a better incentive than getting another 10% off, for just, doing your monthly qualification. That gives you, most, in Canada, that gives you 3 bottles of product, and, you can turn that into real money. So, and you can also turn into real health. But to see a 60% payout in the binary, and then a further 10% in other bonuses, car allowances, and so forth. These are payouts that are very high in the industry. Certainly about 25% higher than the last company I was with. So we have a very, very well paying compensation plan, and to have a weekly payout, and a global company, a company that pays out globally. The idea of shopping credits is absolutely brilliant. Being able to bank your 150 each month. I have a little gift to myself coming, and it's not necessarily that I was planning on doing this, but I had some extra volume banked, and because I've been putting more in than most people probably would. But I bought a Conquest watch. So that's my gift that's coming tomorrow, is the new gunmetal gray Conquest watch. Because Ramin sold me on that watch when we were at the boot camp. He told his story, and I'm going, Ramin, I'm getting one of those. So when I turned LD3, I said, it's time to get a Conquest watch. So it's coming tomorrow. It was supposed to be. Yeah, it was supposed to be here Friday, but I talked to the mailman. He said no, it's actually arriving tomorrow. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get that little reward. But the compensation plan is tremendous. The international opportunity, which is another thing that I absolutely needed. I couldn't go to a company that was only a North American company, because 33 years in the industry, 34 years in the industry, I've got people like Patrick and Helen Chong. I've got people like our tremendous Thai teams with Werner and Dow and Narong and Napaporn and all of these tremendous Thai leaders and stuff. I couldn't just go find myself a company and abandon these people. I needed to find a company that could be a home for them as well. And so that was really important to me. And, luckily, Werner and Dow and Kuno, GM over there, they all looked, and they looked hard, asked a lot of very difficult questions, and decided, yes, that this was a home for them as well. So that goes with the Chongs in Singapore as well. Like I say, these are seasoned network marketers. These are people that know the hard questions to ask. And on all of these things that we're just talking about here, Opulence passed the acid test. The timing of being a 17, 18-year-old company, the timing is absolutely incredible, because I can't believe that this company existed for that amount of time. And I've been in the industry for, like I say, 33, 34 years. I can't believe this company existed and I did not know about it. And really, when you look at the timing, as I mentioned earlier, it really is at that special time and place where it's going to bust wide open. And we're going to get into a momentum phase, and we're going to be making waves around the world. And it won't be too long before everybody in the world knows the name Opulence Global. So that, to me, was one of the real important things, because I want to be part of that journey to the $1 billion, and I want to be part of that journey to the billions of dollars.
Wonderful, wonderful. We need more people like you, giants, to bring this company to the top of the world, and we are going to get there one day, sooner or later. As I said, we are a Canadian company. We are not really like the US company where they have a high-level startups, so they kind of influence the world much wider, easier. But we start from Canada, where we don't have as much reach, but we need people like you to bring us the company to a higher level. I know you already achieved LD3 Ivy confirmed that you are LD3 already. The poster said you are LD2, but they just haven't made the announcement yet. So huge congratulations on that for you. You will, as Sherrie said, you will make it to #1 in the company in pretty much time soon. You should be able to achieve that. I see your team grow like.
Lost you there, Henry. Lost you there, my friend. Well, I hope everybody can still hear me, but it sounds like we've lost Henry. No, we've lost Henry for a little bit. You know, it's such an honor, you know, to have advanced to LD3, but I've got to tell you, nobody gets to LD1, LD2, LD3, or above by themselves, and it's only due to the tremendous people that I've been you know, able to attract to Opulence that's got me to where we're at LD3 now. You just don't do it on your own. It seems kind of lonely when you first start a new company because you kind of feel like you know, I hope I can attract people. I hope everybody sees what I see. And so, you know, again, you know, like in North America, being able to attract people like, you know, Larry Hackman and Alan Ogden, and again in Thailand, you know, people like Kuno, people like Kun Warner and Dow and Napaporn and Narong, and then, you know, Singapore again, the Patrick and Helen Chong. You know, it's without all of these people, and also I want to include my upline, you know, all of the upline and the sideline. You guys are all an inspiration to me, and you don't advance rank by yourself. You advance rank because of the tremendous people you surround yourself with, and I've been blessed. I've been blessed in other companies as well, but this is like I've said time and time again, this is my forever home, and I'm glad that other people on my team, other leaders on my team saw what I saw as well. So yeah, it's you know, it's kind of like when you get started, if it is to be, it's up to me. Those are 10 very powerful 2-letter words. If it is to be, it's up to me. You know, that's where it starts. You know, and then but after you get past the, you know, that point, then it's you know, hopefully being able to attract some fine people around you and be able to rank advance, and that's kind of fun.
Right. I read a message from Arenia Kama. She said it's great to follow you home. So you found your forever home, and your team they follow you home. So this is a great analogy. That's great. Yeah, I like this idea of international business where in some other companies they tap into the what they call the wealthy class, and then they only do, like, for example, in China or something. But this company is in 138 countries. Even my team in 30 actually 27 countries in my team. So you have your business in different countries like Cambodia, like Laos, like the Philippines, everywhere around the world. That's really giving your business a solid foundation, so it doesn't collapse because of one market. And this is really something that I appreciate as well, and I feel comfortable with. And with the regarding to the compensation plan, I like the power cycle, where you join the first day and you can achieve a power cycle. You double your income, and that is something that's humongously big in our company, where you can enjoy the car bonus, enjoy the leadership MGS and all that. In the first day you join, if you qualify, you have it. The first day, you don't have to wait until you're a diamond or something on the top 1 or 2 people that can achieve that just to attract other people. to follow you, but we are giving it to the people in the rank and field, the people that just joined the company on the first day or two. So I talk to the leaders if they show properties or characteristics of a leader. I told them about the fast start bonus, where if you achieve a lifestyle director 1, you get in the first week, you get 3 times higher commission for that month. And if you can do that within a month, you get double. So we are rewarding people who are the newcomers, new beginners, who that's why I have almost get my people to stay in the smart buy. You were talking about smart buy. We were doing almost about close to 60% of the people on smart buy. And that is unheard of in this industry. In the average industry, the average in this industry for smart buy is 10%. Some companies drop down to 5%, even 2%. But we are doing almost close to 40, 50, 60%, depending on what level you are, how long you are with the company. Usually, first startup people, they keep a higher percentage. Like people, like Renee, he might have a lower because he had 28,000 people in his team to have that. So, but in general, we are much higher than the average industry, and that's how we don't have to hunt down a lot of overheads. People who join us. We need a smaller group of people to make a very decent income in this company.
So Henry, you just brought up another thought in my mind that I think it's important for people to understand what some other companies out there are making you do to rank, advance, and achieve. When I got involved with Enrich back in the day, it was you had to do $1,000 a month.
Wow.
In your own personal little group, right? And you had to sponsor and recruit 10 or 6 other people that you personally sponsor, so 6 people wide. Wow. That all had to do $1,000 each month as well. Then each one of those people you had to recruit, they had to recruit 2. So it wasn't like our plan where I can bring in 2 and then help them get 2. I had to bring in 6, each doing $1,000 a month, and I had to help them get 2 each doing $1,000 a month. So that's 18 people on my first 2 levels, 18 people doing $1,000 a month to get to presidential director. I did that in less than a year, but the compensation plan was it was 5%, 6 levels deep, and then set 1% on the 7th, 2% on the 8th, and 3% on the 9th, and that was it. Yeah. You had business down below your 9th generation, you didn't get paid on it. I was doing in just the 9 levels, I was doing almost $2 million a month, I think pretty steadily $1.6, $1.7 million a month in that compressed organization. Mm-hmm. The rest of it, I had millions of dollars below that I never got paid on.
That's correct.
And so, when you look at our compensation plan, just look at the structure of it. It's just you coming in, doing your part, and helping 2 other people come in at the same position, and then helping them find 2 people and so forth. Very, very much more simple, a lot easier to achieve.
Yeah, thank you. So can you tell us a little more about like how big is your team size, and how many countries you have them with you?
Yeah, the last time I checked, Henry, I was right around 1,000 partners, and almost all of them are LAs and LD1s and LD2s, and I think there's LD3s, and in 23 countries last I looked.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the important thing about and then that's in 1 year. I expect much bigger things moving forward. I've still got, some, you should see my list, Henry. I've got some really, really good people that I'm still bringing into the business, and in international markets that I don't have anybody in yet. What you mentioned earlier about the Fountain of Life product, and the fact that there is a nice retail profit there to be had as well. It does attract, as you mentioned, it does attract an audience that wouldn't normally be able to attract. People like yourself, traditional Chinese medicine doctors and so forth. When they see, and my sort of approach is, when you see what this product will do for your clients, what the benefits to your clients are huge. So why would you hold that product back from being able to offer that to your people when you know what the benefits of that Fountain of Life product is to them? And then, of course, we'll have Phytoclinical, again, if that is the name, we'll have Phytoclinical to piggyback on that. And, Fountain of Life and Phytoclinical, it's like 1 + 1 = 5, 1 + 1 = 10. The two of them together, like gasoline and matches. Yeah. Boom.
Wow. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's what which is my next question. It's like, what do you think the new product is going to bring us to? I guess you already answered that question. So we are going to take it to a much higher level. And as I said, I was in multiple different companies, almost 30 different companies and products before, and I have never seen something like this product that can anchor all these professionals, people who don't. They used not to want to be get hurt with the other products, because I used to retail some products and I lose money. The more I sell, the more money I lose. So it doesn't make any business sense until you unless you go out and build a team. You travel around the world and spend a lot of money until you build a team. But by that time, the company might already collapse, and you end up having nothing. Now with this company, we are getting on the first day we start to make profit of retail, and then wholesale and everything. So we get all that. We even get a line of pastors involved in our business, which shows that people, they don't even afraid of talking about it in the church. Usually church are very skeptical, very resistant to any type of selling, because this is going to hurt the people by giving them maybe expensive products, or maybe it's not worth the money, or somehow. And now these pastors, they, like Pastor Rudy that we hear from last time, he was so convinced that he is saving his church members from their health issues, from their financial woes, from the time freedom. So he is bringing freedom for everything: mental freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, and health freedom. So he is so convinced that he is getting other pastors involved.
And Henry, that's really important. We just had this discussion a couple of days ago with a couple of my partners, and we were talking about the churches, at the end of the day, churches are are business. It takes money to run them. If they either own the property or they're leasing the property or whatever, but that costs money. And if you own the property, you've got other bills to pay too. You've got parking lots to keep up potholes, and maybe you have to have paving and roofs that need repair, and just general things that happen in buildings, as they age, that have to be taken care of all the time. So, cash flow is very important to pastors and people running churches. They also need to make a living for themselves too. But if you can take a product like Fountain of Life and integrate that into the church, and help your church to become a stronger entity in the neighborhood, and a better presence, and healthier parishioners, then if it's working for you, it's going to work for other pastors as well. So you're going to, you know, these people talk to each other, and you know, even from, they don't even have to be from the same faith, you know, but you know, I found something that helped my church to you know, be able to be healthier and maybe a little bit more financially secure place. And you might be interested in taking a look at this too, because it's going to benefit your parishioners and it's going to benefit your property. So it's very it's a very interesting place to go and to open up conversation with some of the leaders of these different religions.
Yes, thank you, John. I actually share it with my pastor in my Chinese church, and they use the product. They don't do it as a business, but they use the product. They like the product, and this has been very rare from before. The experience that we had before, we are not so fortunate to have a product like this to be able to be liked and shared among people in the church. So thank you very much.
There's somebody that you know as well. There's somebody I want to mention on the call is a gentleman under Larry Hackman, James Donaldson, and James and I have known each other for many years. And you know, I think actually James came to see you. I do believe, but might have that wrong. But with James, he was very. He did a lot of driving for the Amish community, and this is a game where, you know, people can go to, you know, we're just talking about, you know, churches and so forth, and pastors and that type of thing. You know, look at different communities that that can benefit from this as well. And you know, in James's sort of world, he's been a very important person to the Amish community, and I believe autism as well. And so he's gone into those communities with the Fountain of Life, and he's done amazingly well. He's buying 50 packs now, Henry.
Wow.
He's buying 50 packs, and he's qualifying for MGRS and everything else now. And you know, he reminded me. I want to give James credit for this, because he reminded me of an old thing that we used to do back in the day, you know, like before computers and everything else. As you know, we just called it 20 coins. And you know, what James does is he puts 20 coins in his right pocket when he goes out in the morning. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't stop talking to people about Opulence or Fountain of Life until every time he talks to somebody, he takes a coin from the right pocket and puts it into the left pocket. Yeah. And that's his goal every day, is to talk to 20 people every single day about Fountain of Life and Opulence. And he doesn't stop until those 20 coins go from his right pocket to his left pocket. Wow. And that's why he's selling 50 packs of Fountain of Life now. Wow,
that's amazing. Yeah, that's how the practitioners, even pastors, they are doing very well retaining, and then they are making a good compensation on that, and then they build a team as well. We're actually getting close to the 1 hour mark. I would like to leave a little more time for people who would like to share a little feedback and how you were inspired by John's story. If you are ready to share or make a comment, you are welcome to raise your hand, and then we'll put you in the panel so you can talk. If anybody would like to share some, thank you, John, for sharing this great story, and we are all inspired.
Perfect. Looks like Larry, I think, was wanting to say something there.
Yes, I see Larry's hand raised. I'm going to make you a panelist, and then I'm going to open your video as well. Larry, no. Okay, Larry, you are a panelist. I'm trying to make you a co-host. Where's the co-host button? Oh, co-host button. Yes,
there he is.
I think, John, you are the host. You are the host. You can make him a co-host. Can you highlight his button and make him a co-host?
Good morning, John. Can you hear me?
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
How you doing, Larry?
Hey, first of all, congratulations, John, on your LD3. It couldn't happen to a better person. I want to tell you, I've known you for 40 years, maybe 45.
45.
Yeah, we've been together for a long time, and one of the things that I do really appreciate is loyalty is a big thing in my life, and you are so loyal. You're a leader. If I was going to war, I'd want to go to war with you because you'd protect my back. I've never we're so united together as friends, and it's just absolutely incredible. I enjoy your friendship, your loyalty, your support, and you're well deserved. You will reach it to the top. I could see you as a multi-millionaire with this company and helping out a lot of people have the same thing as you do, and it's absolutely incredible. You're right. This is the forever company. This is the only company I'll ever be with, and we go back a long ways. And one of the things that about you, John, is you always tell the truth. You always tell it like it is, even in the bad times. If things are going downhill, you tell it. If things are going up, you tell it. And so you're very authentic. And I most certainly appreciate being in your organization. I appreciate being with Opulence. I've never seen a company like this in my entire life. Anyone out there looking for a business, or this is it. You can start with $1,300, and you're on your way to the top. You will pass your current salary if you're working, or hourly rate, and you'll be totally financially independent. It's absolutely amazing. So follow your leaders, get the information, don't be shy, step out of your comfort zone. This is absolutely amazing. Thanks, John. I most certainly appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Larry. We've been friends for a long time, and I know you're going to the top as well, my friend. You're already on your way.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? John, you are the host, so you can make them a co-host. If you can
okay, how do I do that?
highlight the top right-hand side, call it the three dots. Just click it, it'll show make co-host.
Okay, there's Renee.
Yeah, make co-host.
Okay, when I do the three dots, it's saying ask to unmute, remove permission to talk.
Hey there,
chat.
John. Hi
There he
Henry.
is. Henry,
Wow,
yeah, there
again,
with Renee.
Yeah.
Good man.
Oh, again, thank you, gentlemen, for such an amazing call, and it's great. I was actually having my breakfast here in Trinidad, and got a chance to, over breakfast, hear this amazing. Like John, I think we're very, very blessed, of course, in Opulence to have you in the company as well too. I think Larry said it best. You deliver it as it is. There's no sort of beating around the bush with you, and more importantly, you're absolutely fantastic in caring for your team. And I can see that when you talk to your people, and that you found your forever home, that they would just want to follow you to the ends of the earth. And I think you're just an amazing leader. I know that. For example, you don't have to be traveling back again to Thailand. It's going to be your second time now flying back, and you're heading back in December with me again too, to support the team there. And you could be just relaxing in Vancouver with your beautiful wife, but instead you're deciding to go and support your team as well. And so yeah, I think as well, you bring such a vast amount of a point of reference for people who perhaps are in Opulence, because you've come from another company where you were like the #1 income earner in Canada, and you had a great life for many years, and unfortunately, you had that rug swept out from underneath you. And I think that's such a, like, for me, it's such a powerful story, because it really goes to show that we do have a forever home here at Opulence. We truly do. And I'm just glad that after crossing paths and doing calls after calls with you, and you were always very instrumental at bringing the right people back to the table, when some people had walked away. And it's just been an incredible journey with you, especially the last time we went to Thailand together. So again, we're very honored and privileged to have you in the company, as well as we're just lucky to have Opulence as our company. And I know that, of course, we're just getting started. I think you always talk about that. You know it too. And I just can't wait to see what's going to happen, of course, with your business. I know that you're on track again to becoming the next, self-made millionaire, seven-figure earner in Opulence. So can't wait to see you there. And again, thanks for joining us and having your faith in Opulence. Thank you, John, and Henry too.
Thank you so much, Renee. I mean, it's it like I said earlier, you can't do this by yourself. And it's the leadership of people like yourself and Henry and Reza and I mean and others, and the upline and the support and the sideline support in this company is beyond reproach. It's absolutely amazing, and the systems are there for anybody who wants to create a big business. So take advantage, because guys like Henry and Renee, and they're just they're giving of themselves all the time. So it's the least I can do is to try and follow in your footsteps.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Renee.
Thank you, Henry.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we have Ifra raise a hand. Ifra, you're online. You are.
Hello. Good morning, Henry. Good morning, John. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your inspiring story, John. It was an honor to meet you at the conference with your amazing wife, Sherrie, as well. And of course, a lot of your amazing business partners were there as well. I just want to echo what Renee just said. Like, you shared, one of the companies where you have made, you and your wife, millions of dollars, but then yet you had to restart all over again. As you probably know, like, this is my first company in MLM, right? I always say, like, I just got so lucky. Opulence chose me, right? It just happened that I landed in the right company. So my question to you, John, is how do you pick up the pieces all over again after reaching so much success and still aiming for that #1 spot again here? And by the way, you have just as much of a shot as any one of us. I can definitely see you at the top again. How do you do it? Please share that with us.
Oh my gosh, that's kind of the terrifying thing, I guess, is that when you're with a company and you put all the work in, not just one but 2 or 3 different companies, and you put all the work in, and you get to a point where you say, we've done it, and through nothing that you've done yourself, the company implodes. And that's why I always, when I talk about my 5 criteria for finding a good company, the very first thing I'm looking at is the corporate team. And so I mentioned I went out to Toronto for 4 days to check out the company before I actually joined, just to make sure it was everything that I believed it to be. And, when you meet people like Ramin and his commitment, and Sanaz and other people at corporate, and you meet people like Henry and Renee and so forth, that, you come away after 4 days, and you come away with just, it's in your heart. You're already living opulence. By the time I left Toronto, I knew this was my forever home. And so when you've got that in your heart, and you truly believe that, and you can say that with all confidence, that this is my forever home, it becomes a lot easier to talk to the people that are important to you that you've been with in other companies. The interesting thing is, Helen and Patrick Chong in Singapore did not join my last company, because that company wouldn't make a commitment to Singapore. And it's too easy for companies to leave a country when you're just there on a not for resale basis. And so that's their leadership, that they knew that if the company wasn't going to make a commitment to them to being on the ground in Singapore, then it was too easy for the company to leave them. And it's a lot of work for them to do for a company to leave. So, when I found out that we were in Singapore with Opulence, I mean, who do you think the first people I called were? And it took some convincing because they're very busy people and they're very successful people. But, you know, they saw what I saw. So I think when you've got it in your heart, you've got to make your list, and you've got to just approach people, you know, with that genuine sincerity that, you know, you've got something they really need to take a look at. And I never want to make a decision for somebody because I didn't call them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If I'm afraid to call somebody because I'm afraid they're going to say no, then they didn't even get the chance to say no. I'd rather to give somebody the chance to say no. Call your list of people that you're absolutely scared to death to call, and just tell them, you know, I'm just giving you the opportunity to say no, because that's not my decision I should make for you. So I'll tell you what I'm doing, and if you you'd be quite surprised how many people say yes. So go after that list of people you're fearful of, and because they probably need this company in their life.
Thank you, Yifa, for your question, and thank you, John, for your answer. Anybody else there, or we are getting over the hour? So yeah, the chats are blown off. The chats are blown off with all the thank you, John, and the inspirational call. This is amazing 1 hour that we spent together. It's amazing opportunity to host it together with you, and I hope we can do more of this to inspire our people. And you are needing the team. You are needing the company as well. Together with all of us together, we'll push it to the billions, right? To the billion, to multiple billions. This is the starting point. So as John said, with the new product combined together, it's 1 + 1 = 5. We're going to push it to the higher level, and then that'll be and we'll meet everybody at the top. And
Everybody at the top.
Yeah. Thank you to the billion. To the billion.
To the billion. One team, one dream. To the billion.
One team, one team, one dream. To the billion.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.